defensive and safe. Look at this fool. Look at this fool with all these sunken colonies playing extra defensive. Got a lot of gateways up for Cal. Looks like he's getting his 5th gateway up off of his 2nd base and 6th gateway off of his 2nd base. So not going to be going for a quick third at all. That is pretty normal to go for a quick third, but instead Cal's going to be macroing up a pretty sizable force. Actually getting a 6th hatchery is Sulky, so this is kind of unorthodox. Getting a 6th hatchery could actually be seeing some more links produced out of this kind of a build than there. A lot that's usually you go with 5 hatcheries and pump hydros. With the 6th hatchery, we'll probably be seeing a little bit more of a ling heavy build, would be my presumption, or maybe for some reason he's got too much money. But 5 hatcheries is usually more than enough larva to spend on hydralisks. One zealot being used just to go get a scout in on the units there. What units are there? How many? If there's any lurkers? How many hydralisks? If zerglings have been spawned in mass? That kind of thing. That's what that zealot was used for. It took a lot of damage, but it's actually not dead, so that's important. Speed has finished, and we do have an Archon in the air. The Archon actually picking off a Scourge, which is pretty darn cool. And a couple cannons coming up in the main for Cal, and a couple in the natural expansion as well, just to defend against possible lurker drops, against run-bys, against a tech switch to Mutalisks, that sort of thing. Those cannons are going to be very, very useful for that. Is that another hatchery? No, that's the same one. That's the same. That's still the 6th hatchery. I thought he was throwing down a 7th hatchery or something. I was going to be very, very confused. We do have lurker eggs morphing, so we could be seeing a lurker ling build here from Sulky. A little bit different, a little bit cool, I think. I think Liquor Ling is actually pretty nice versus Protoss. We do have an observatory coming up, and I think Cal suspected that lurkers were coming his way, so he's got that observatory going, and he's gonna have some observers out. Now it's gonna be important for Sulky to get some Scourge out with some speed overlords, which he already has, and try and pick off observers left and right. If he can pick off the observers out in the field, he'll be in such a beautiful position to just do massive amounts of damage, and it'll be really difficult for Cal to really counter that. Countering observer types is very, very difficult. Cal's got to be very, very careful with his observers to keep them alive. It's really important. It's really difficult to do sometimes with all the other micro that's done here. And Sulky actually getting a nice little push out here, and doing a lot of damage, taking out one of the Archons, taking out a couple of the Zealots as well. Actually works his way to where Cal would place his 3rd next. I don't believe he's placed it yet, but that is where Cal's 3rd base would be. He got some High Templar out, and he needs to be very, very careful. Those High Templar are just wandering around right now, and not really protected, and should Sulky push in a little bit stronger, he could have seen those and maybe picked those off. But it looks like he's not going to push out. It looks like he's just going for the contain. But he sees them now, and Observer being picked off. Like I said, that is exactly what Cal needed to avoid. That is exactly the play that Sulky needed and that Cal needed to avoid. And that is painful for Cal. This is so important that each of those observers stay alive for Cal. Should they fall, it just makes push-outs so difficult. There's no such thing as a scan. So if you lose a sign special for a Terran, you at least have scans if you need it. For Protoss, there is nothing. You just don't have any other type of detection other than observers. You know, you need pylons for cannons, so those are useless. You can't just build turrets around, and you usually don't produce 50 observers like Overlord. So it's pretty problematic for Protoss in terms of detection. Looks like some Zealots being picked off here and trying to work through the forces of Sulky, able to do so, but I don't know what they're really going to be able to do. They're going towards that 6 o'clock position, maybe going to see that base, but 2 Zealots is really not going to do that much, considering I don't think a drone transfer has occurred yet. We do see Cal's throwing up that 3rd base at his normal position at about the 1 o'clock. And I'm going to start trying to macro off of 3 bases, but like I said, you know, Sulky's getting that 4th base up and running. He's got a nice military on the board, and if he can pick off another observer, it's just wow, that could be pretty painful. And a Storm going down, picking off a couple of Hydralisks, not really that great of a Storm there. But the Stormer does live, so he doesn't even need to morph it into Archon. He can save it for later, let it gather up some more energy, maybe get off some more Storms. So not the worst thing in the world. We got another robotics facility coming up, so we're going to probably be seeing some Reavers coming out here. So Cal's going to transition into some Reaver play. Reavers will of course be very, very good at defending. Lurkers, they do very well against pretty much everything that the Zerg has. Every ground unit that the Zerg has, it does very, very well against. And another observer being picked off by Templar, and a couple Storms going in there to pick off the Lings. And that was some nice play there by Sulky, using those Lings to absorb the fire while the Scourge guy in there with the observer and the Overlord, and were able to pick off the observer. So some nice play there by Sulky, and he's looking pretty good right now. Storm picking off one of the lurkers, But that's going to be slow going if he's going to be needing Storm to pick off Lurkers left and right. That is going to be really, really slow going. We got a couple of DTs out, actually, for Cal as well. So could be seeing a couple of DTs picked up along with a couple of Zals. There they are. And now where will they go? My guess would be the main, actually, would be where I would go if I was Cal. Just drop straight into the main, see how much damage you can do. But there is an Overlord there, so that's going to be problematic. And actually, that is a really well-defended main overall. Maybe to the south of the main, the southern edges of the main, you might be able to pick off a building there. But overall, that is a pretty darn well-defended main for Sulky. So Sulky looks like he's very much ready for this. And DT is being dropped, but not going to have too much luck there. Looks like they're going to go straight for the sunken colonies. Looks like they're going to get one. Will they get the other? Shuttle does go down. Will they get the other sunken colony? And the other sunken colony does look like it's going to go down. But there are Zerglings being brought in to defend against this. And Dark Templar should get a couple kills. But it's not what he needed. It is not nearly what Cal wanted. He only got about 2 drone kills maybe. And for everything that he spent, that is not what he was hoping for, considering the shuttle, the 2 DTs, the 2 Zaws, something like 700 minerals to do that attack. That's a lot of minerals, and unfortunately was not able to do very much at all. So a little bit of a fail there. We do have Defiler Mound up, so we should be seeing some Swarm pretty soon. And Sulky is just absolutely in a beautiful position right now. I have no complaints about Sulky's play, actually. He's actually playing extremely, extremely well. And it's unfortunate that we didn't see this quality play from him against 4GG, but this is actually pretty nice. We'll be seeing a 3rd decent Zerg out of Woongjin Stars. How crazy would that be? After Zero and Quandra, GG play retired for Woongjin Stars. I think he was on Woongjin Stars. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. But yeah, could Sulky become their 3rd Zerg? Not that you normally need 3 Zergs, but should Quandra and Zero go make more deep runs into playoffs, Sulky looking very good here. If he can pull this off and getting some Zerglings right into Dragoons, picking off several Dragoons, some fantastic play with these Cracklings. This is great from Sulky. I'm really enjoying Sulky's play right now. This is very, very nice. And yeah, I mean, if he can play like this on a consistent level, on a consistent basis, he could easily become a